Auburn Blitz is now on the air. Your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Monday afternoon. Welcome into another edition of the Auburn Blitz. I'm Andy Graham alongside Brett Pritchard. We'll be with you for the next hour, taking your comments and talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. A lot going on right now as far as football and basketball are concerned. The Auburn Tigers will play the Minnesota Golden Gophers in the Outback Bowl.
First time ever.
First time ever. I told you this is who I wanted to play. I'd rather play somebody, I know everybody says was a little disappointed they didn't get the Citrus. They're a little disappointed they didn't get into the Cotton Bowl or, one of the New Year's Six Bowls. But, that ship sailed with 3 losses, I think. And I know some of the players were voicing frustration about it. And I can understand that, playing the schedule that they did. But, win a couple of those games, and it's not really an issue. But I like the fact that Auburn's going to get to play a team they've never played before. Minnesota's a good team. You win that game, you feel like you've accomplished something. Although I read a little, it was just talking about the preview up to the game, and it showed who Minnesota's beaten this year. Brett, when you read that list, you're like, these are some of the worst teams ever. I mean, Rutgers and Maryland, and it was just a list of teams you're going, really?
And then
this was their schedule? But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Well, I think we'll get into that a little bit later on, because there were some people out on Twitter and some different, agencies and recruiting areas and all that saying that it's time to quit looking at just your record and falling in love with 11-2 or 10-2 or whatever. Utah, for example. I mean, because there's several SEC teams, Auburn being included, if you subbed out the Florida and the Georgia team for 2 of the ones that Auburn had to play, then you're looking at Auburn having 1 loss on the season.
Sure.
So, it's all in who you got to play and what conference you're in, and that's why, when it comes to the SEC, there's really no other conference that has an argument out there. And I know Ohio State and the post game out there after they beat Wisconsin, their commissioner gets up there and, number 1 in the Big Ten, number 1 in the country. Well, really you weren't, because you got bumped out when the next day when the rankings came out. But, that's kind of the deal, Andy, is that everybody that has any type of sense looks at the SEC and sees what a gauntlet it is for these teams to go through. And LSU deserved to be number 1 in the country. They deserved the way they went out and just obliterated Georgia, who happened to be the number 4 team. Ohio State was getting beat at halftime pretty handily. And I don't think they survived their first-round matchup with Clemson. I know we got plenty of time to talk about all this different stuff, but when you lay out schedules, Auburn is definitely a team that probably garners a ranking higher than what they have because of who they played and how close those games were, and 2 of them being on the road. And you can mix it up, but we didn't play a Minnesota schedule. We didn't play a Utah schedule. We didn't play those schedules. If we had, we'd had a chance to be undefeated too.
No doubt. Clemson, you can throw them in there too.
Why do you think the Pac-12 doesn't get any respect, Andy? When you come down to this playoff committee, and they've been left out now every single season, every single year, because it's who they play compared. It's not fair. And so I agree with these people. I know your record means something, but we got to quit falling in love with 12-1 and 11-2s and all that, and look at the real picture and see who's playing who.
Well, it's a shame when your argument is, we play a 9-game conference schedule, and that hurts you.
It does.
When you play one more against the Pac-12, that hurts you.
It does.
Then if you're going out and playing another, go schedule an SEC team instead of a 9th conference game.
Well, Patrick says Auburn, Minnesota, not a sexy matchup. The word Minnesota in college football is not ever going to be. They're just now to a point where I mean, give them credit. I mean, they've gotten their program to another level. It's like Fleck said yesterday. He said, us being Outback Bowl, that's a bowl we've never played in. It's another first here. He said, that's where we are with this program right now. But this year in 2019, they're a good football team that received a lot of press and were ranked highly. So regardless of their schedule, it will be a good opponent for Auburn. And again, it's a new opponent, somebody that Auburn's never played. So there is some intrigue there. I'm excited about the matchup. We could have played Michigan in the Citrus Bowl and vice versa. And Alabama could have played Minnesota. I don't care. It doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I think your bowl was the reward for what you did this season. I really do.
We appreciate all of you out there joining us this afternoon, whether that be on 105.1 The Lake or Charter Channel 3 or WOTM, Charter Cable, several different channels, 2180, 187, 190, depending on what part of the state you're in. All of you out there on Facebook, we appreciate all of you. If you'd like to comment away on any of the things we talk about or bring up a new subject, just dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page. That's Sports with a Z. Again, a lot to talk about. Auburn's going to in the market for a new offensive coordinator.
They are. Before we get into that, Johnny Keel is in Minnesota right now. He said, I'm stuck in the snow. I've talked to many Gopher fans. Hold on a second. Siri decided she wanted to jump in on
Mine
this.
too. What's the weird?
I don't know. Stuck in the snow, talked to many Gopher fans. They don't think they have a chance. I said, you can never tell which Auburn team will show up.
Auburn opens as an 8-point favorite. It's already down to 7.5. So,
I mean, have you ever known it to do anything other than go in the opposite direction? I mean, if we open up an underdog, it gets wider.
People know
if we
Auburn's
open up a favorite,
schedule.
it comes closer. So, Patrick, and we'll talk about this too, the SEC championship game, Georgia came out in our 3-1-7 defense, and it just didn't work.
No.
It just didn't work.
It did not. They didn't really.
Kirby, for all his ingenious defensive minds, comes out, but you can't blame him because we're the only team that held them to the point total they had, but they found out they didn't have the horses up front that
they
needed.
Get pressure.
They
could not get pressure with 3. That was the difference. But yeah, Auburn, Chad Morris, that's a name that we're going to hear. We're going to hear often. I think he took his name out of consideration for the UTSA job, which is the University of Texas San Antonio, which would have made sense. If he was going to get another head coaching job, that would be the one maybe that you would look at. But does that mean that he's the front runner now?
Well, Dillingham's
for the Auburn
out.
OC. Kenny Dillingham is going to Florida State with Mike Norvell. Then we got a few new head coaches in the SEC. Lane Kiffin goes to Ole Miss. Eli Drinkwitz goes to Missouri, and Sam Pittman, offensive line coach from Georgia.
Coach,
if you're Arkansas, this has got to be the least. When you go, what in the world?
When you had people asking who Sam Pittman was.
Yeah. So, but anyway, sometimes that works for you, sometimes it doesn't. We'll kind of see how that all works
and he's going to find out, and there's a lot of people in there saying, man, what a great recruiter Sam Pittman is. To Georgia. We'll see how good he is at Arkansas.
Yeah.
Everything gets challenged when you change to that venue.
And, of course, this time of year being the playoff, all of a sudden, everybody wants to talk about, do we need the expansion? Do we need to go to 8 teams? Well, there was actually a survey administered to the 65 Power 5 head coaches, although Nick Saban and Chip Kelly and Ed Orgeron decided not to participate. But everybody else of the 62,
they declined.
They put their pinned name to what how they feel about it. Are you for playoff expansion? Are you against it? We have the names right here. We'll look at that maybe as we move
Which way
forward.
You think Ed Orgeron, Nick Saban, and Chip Kelly lean?
Why wouldn't you Saban's pretty he's been against it pretty much.
Why wouldn't you participate in that service? Why wouldn't you just
I don't know.
because
they're
is that
just
really
who
that
they
big
are.
a deal?
Chip Kelly, I would
Ed Orgeron
guess he'd
submitted
be for
his,
it.
nobody could read it. He's look, and it's so easy to crack on it, but the joke's on everybody else right now. They're number 1 in the country. They are by far, to me, the best looking football team out there, and they're 2 wins away from winning the national championship and going undefeated. And just 3 years ago, everybody was like, well, that was the death of LSU's program. Thank you for scratching Tom Herman's name out on that contract and just adding Ed Orgeron in there in a panic situation.
Yeah.
Well, it's worked out for them.
It's worked out quite well for them. There's no question about that. We're brought to you each and every day by Russell Dewitt Center with 10 locations around Central Alabama. For all your building supply, home decor tools, whatever it might be, go and check out Russell Dewitt Center. Also, Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, for all your mortgage needs. It's your first mortgage, you got an existing mortgage you want to refinance, or maybe it's a reverse mortgage, all points in between. They can help you out here at Mortgage Pro, located right here in Alexander City, but they service the entire state of Alabama. 256-397-0248. That's Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team.
Basically, Steven said Arkansas just needs to keep the committee together because they're going to be looking for another coach again soon, even after this. I mean, I don't know who, and Randy and I talked about it this weekend. I don't know at this point. That's where Arkansas is.
It could not have been their first choice.
No.
I mean, surely.
They thought they were going to be stuck with the interim that played quarterback there.
Barry Lunny.
Yeah, Lunny. I mean, that's where this had gone to. I mean, and this is where this program is. And Randy and I talked about it Saturday on Countdown. I'm just not sure that the best move for Arkansas and Missouri is just to get out. And, for the SEC to – we spent 2 segments talking about who would replace them. There's some good opportunities for replacements. Louisville, Georgia Tech, some of those type teams that would make more sense. And Missouri needs to go to the Big Ten, and Arkansas needs to go to the Big 12. I just think it's a better fit all the way around.
Yeah. Could be. We'll see what happens in the
Arkansas fans right now are going, I agree.
Yeah. Up against a break. Don't go anywhere. Just getting started on the Auburn Blitz on this Monday.
Employee Pricing Plus continues at Bice Motors in Alex City.
It's the Big Finish event.
Save up to $7,435 on Jeep Compass and Grand Cherokee. Or up to $12,000 on the powerful Ram trucks in stock.
Don't miss this.
Save up to $5,200 on the sporty Dodge Durango.
We're going to finish the year big.
Save big during the Big Finish event going on at Bice Motors in Alex City.
A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
From the smallest drippy faucet to drain cleaning to water heater replacement to gas lines to total systems replacement, A&M Plumbing handles it all. Visit amplumbing.net today for the experienced, licensed, and insured pros at A&M Plumbing.
A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
Hidley Towers is an affordable senior citizen community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East, where spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living, where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more about Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552, for your family at Hidley Towers. That's 256-329-0552.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Alex City Marines, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, and the Yerkes invite you by to see what they have available today. The 2020 Manitous and Landaus are in, and boy, are they gorgeous. Also, some great deals on demos. Take advantage of that while they last. Alex City Marine also is doing shrink wrapping, storage. Get in line now. In fact, call this number, 256-215-FISH. Alex City Marine, Alex City.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA. The Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales in Opelika has the largest selection of prestige cars, trucks, and SUVs in Central and East Alabama, all with financing available, little to no money down, and extended warranties. Get pre-qualified in under 2 minutes, online or from your mobile device at GillsPrestigeOnline.com. It's the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you for about 45 more minutes in today's show. A lot of comments coming through on Facebook. We'll get to those in just a minute. Appreciate all of those. Keep them coming. We were talking about the offensive coordinator position being open now. Kenny Dillingham going to Florida State with Mike Norvell, who was hired there to replace Willie Taggart. Now, I mean, is Gus going to continue to call the plays? That's going to be. Would Chad Marsh come to Auburn if he's not going to be allowed to call plays? Would Gus give him the play calling duties? Would he trust him to do that? Would he be I think he'd probably be the only person Gus would do that. So if Auburn is going to hire somebody else as an offensive coordinator, are they willing to come in and not call plays? That's going to be a factor.
Yeah, it will be a factor. Kendall Briles' name being mentioned also, but it's also being mentioned at Ole Miss with Lane Kiffin. Along with Charlie Strong potentially as their defensive coordinator. Man, that's two pretty good staff guys right there. If you're able to put those guys together, we got a lot of conversation online going on about that right now. Stephen said, I'm not really as high on Morris as everybody else is. So Johnny, who's up in Minnesota right now, said the big problem for Minnesota fans is that not many of them are planning to travel that far. Be a big home game for Auburn. Heck, if I lived in Minnesota, I'd be embracing the opportunity to go to Tampa for a few days, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
I mean, after you've been snowed in and feel like you live in an igloo for about 5 months, you get a little bit of a break.
That's a reward to go to Tampa from Minnesota.
Well, the team's probably excited about it for sure. So, I don't know, but it's a situation where Auburn, I think they'll have a serious disposition about this game. Unlike the game against Central Florida where they were disappointed they didn't win and getting the playoff and kind of dejected, even though it was a New Year's Six game. They felt like the season was kind of a failure, which it wasn't, but they played that way. I think you're going to get a different look from this Auburn team. I don't know who will end up sitting out this game. Will Marlon and Derek sit the game out? Will they play? And, that's
going to be another big factor about it. We talked about that, I think, on Friday maybe. And as far as Derek Brown's concerned, he probably shouldn't play in the game, but just knowing him, I just feel like he probably wants to play.
Well, Boobie said he would.
You think so?
Well, that's what he said. Of course, I don't know if Boobie's even talked to him about it.
Yeah.
If he knows anything. I think he was just saying down there last week, he told me, he said, look, I just don't see, he feels kind of, I guess, the same way you do. He said he's not even semi-indicated that he wouldn't.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, if you sit down with an agent finally and decide you want to talk to them and decide that's, you know, enough figures get in front of you and your family and you say, look, is this worth risking for this game? Sometimes you need to make the best decision for yourself. Selfishly, yes, I'd love to see him play, but I also want to see him move on and have a great career too.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We're talking about the playoff, this survey that was given to all the Power 5 head coaches. Again, Nick Saban, Ed Orgeron, Chip Kelly declined to participate. But Gus Malzahn is for playoff expansion. Only 2 SEC head coaches. That's Jimbo Fisher and Gus Malzahn. That's it. That's the list as far as the SEC. Not surprisingly, though, the Big Ten hugely for playoff expansion. 9 Big Ten coaches want it. Only 2 are against it. And one of those was Chris Ash, and he got fired. There you go.
They had no chance anyway.
The ACC seems to be split down the middle. 7 coaches against, 6 coaches for. Big 12, highly in favor of it, as you would expect. 7 Big 12 coaches for it, only 2 against it. And the Pac-12 kind of split a little bit too. 5 coaches for it, 3 against it. I know that's only 8, but some of them, I guess, chose not to answer this question.
Chip Kelly did.
Chip Kelly is, Brian Kelly is for it. He's the one independent.
Yeah.
So interesting. I mean, some of the guys that are for expansion, Neil Brown, Ryan Day at Ohio State, Jimbo Fisher, James Franklin, Mike Gundy, Brian Kelly, Mike Leach, Gary Patterson, Matt Rule, David Shaw at Stanford, Mac Brown, Mark D'Antonio at Michigan State, Manny Diaz, Scott Frost at Nebraska, Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, Les Miles at Kansas, Chris Peterson, who's no longer a coach, and Kyle Whittingham at Utah, just to name a few.
You don't want Willie Taggart's vote?
Willie Taggart no longer. Hey, he'll get a job somewhere.
Oh, I know he will. He always has.
Yeah. So, what do you think? I mean,
this is not the year to lobby for an expansion. Look, it ranges, and that just shows you from year to year, you don't know what you're going to get. If this were the BCS era, who's left out, Andy? You got Clemson.
Well, that's what this is the perfect year to say, I'm glad we got a playoff.
No, it's the perfect year but we're talking about expansion of the playoff. But I'm going back, what a mess that would be.
Oh, yeah.
Just go ahead and tell me who you think would get left out of the mix if it were the BCS this year. Go ahead and tell me.
I mean, it's got to be Clemson.
And they're the defending champs and undefeated.
Yeah.
So how do you tell them to sit at home? That's how bad the BCS was. I'm glad we're away from that. We have made strides. But this year, it was like these 3 and then who wants that 4th position. And Oklahoma, although they hadn't looked real well a lot of times, they lose one game and then getting killed by Baylor another time and they come back. And I don't know, man. They're just, this year it was like, who wants that 4th spot? There are other years where you can go down the line 6, 8 deep and go, man, all of those teams deserve to be in.
Yeah.
So it varies from year to year. But
well, I could argue to say that I think Oklahoma, Auburn, Alabama, maybe even Baylor deserve it, or Oregon maybe deserve a shot at a national. So I could say 8 teams this year. Yes, there are 3 that have separated themselves as the best, but that's not to say that these other teams haven't, at least earned a right to play for it. So
yeah, they're not just, do-aways.
But more coaches are for the playoff expansion than are against it. That's right. Something to keep in mind. Up against a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control for generations, and now with EnviroCare, you can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs. EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. EnviroCare's Centricon system protects your home year-round. Call the professionals at EnviroCare throughout East Central Alabama for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
I am Lisa McClendon from Country Financial, and I have spent years in our community helping people protect their homes, cars, and lives. I am proud to be a member of the 2018 National Championship Team and a National Advisory Council member for Country Financial. Complete financial security does not end with just insurance. I am also here to help you plan for your financial future.
Together, we can help you set up a step-by-step plan to reach financial security.
Let's talk soon.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
At Mortgage Pro, we won't be able to finance a new car or new boat. We can't open you a checking account. Mortgage Pro specializes in mortgage loans. If you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance your current home, the only way to go is Mortgage Pro. We can close in 15 days or less. We can offer the best rates in the mortgage industry. And we can waive appraisal fees on any new loan from September 1st until December 31st. Call Mortgage Pro today.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you for about 30 more minutes in today's show. A Satterfield Outdoor Living in Alexander City is now proudly offering 12 months, same as cash, on any purchase totaling $200 off any of the fantastic items sold in the store. This amazing deal, it's amazing, Brett, includes name brands such as Steel, Echo, Shindawa, Husqvarna, Makita, Skag zero-turn motors, as well, and there's more, as well as Golden cast iron smokers, pit barrel cookers, and Engel coolers. And you'd think it was over, but no, and save big on big green eggs, such as a large egg, a nest, and a convector, for $899, or an extra large big green egg with nest and convector for only $11.99. Come in and take advantage of this tremendous holiday deal and save some cash this Christmas season. Call 256-234-0450 to speak to a Satterfield Outdoor Living rep, or come by and see us at 1584 Highway 280, Alexander City. And remember, they service what they sell. Satterfield Outdoor Living wishes all of you a Merry Christmas.
You need to go on promotion.
Thank you.
I mean, you just.
I'm selling grills, buddy.
Yeah, you are selling grills. That's a good grill. I got one.
Hey,
you get what you pay for.
They sell some quality
but
products.
You get what you pay for. There's no doubt about it. Some other comments coming in through the Facebook feed. Let's see where we pick up. We got so much going on right here. Stephen said the ACC as a whole has been trashed for a long time. Clemson and Florida State, really the only two. It's been a 2-horse race over there for a while. Right now it's a 1-horse race for sure. Jeremy said, going back to the 6A final, is there not a rule about fumbling forward on 4th down like in the NCAA or NFL? Thought if a player fumbles forward, it's be placed at the spot of the fumble. No. The rule in high school football is you can fumble the ball forward and recover it. So it is not like the NFL and the NCAA. You can fumble it forward, and that's what Spanish Fort did unintentionally. He was trying to reach out for the goal line. Ball got knocked out, rolled in the end zone, and they recovered it. So they were the benefit of the ball going toward their. When you spread that formation out and the quarterback's going to sneak it, that receiver's standing way over there going, I ain't in this play. I'm just going to stand over here, and all of a sudden the ball's rolling over there by you, and you got to fall on it. So that's what happened, and then they run their field goal kicker out there, and he misses the extra point. So
that happens.
Tough.
Here's some other questions from the survey submitted to all Power 5 coaches. Do you trust the playoff committee?
I saw that.
51 said yes. 4 coaches said no. They do not trust the playoff committee. Mike Leach, Jim Harbaugh, Gary Patterson, and the aforementioned now defunct Willie Taggart.
I can definitely see Jim Harbaugh and Mike Leach.
Absolutely.
I mean, Mike Leach is conspiracy theory.
I think he don't trust anybody.
He don't trust a soul. He don't trust anybody.
Well, number one, he is a lawyer.
Well, I know. He thinks everything's rigged. And then Jim Harbaugh thinks everybody's out to get him. So I definitely say that. Willie Taggart, it don't count. I mean.
6 had no comment on that subject. Do you understand how the teams are chosen for the playoff? Only 35 said yes, 21 said no, and 6 had no comment.
Is that disturbing?
We don't even know how the teams are chosen. Well, I think that's a product of the coaches saying, look, it seems to change from year to year on what they are valuing. Is it strength of schedule? Is it conference championship?
I think that's what they're saying. They don't know what they go in there and discuss.
We would like a little bit more uniform strategy of how this is happening.
There you go.
Should you have to win your conference to be eligible for the playoff? 16 coaches said yes. 36 said no. 7 said maybe. That's a coward answer. And 3 don't know.
What about them 3?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, don't know.
You talk. They're not even on
Make
the
a
fence.
decision.
They're standing by the fence.
Is that Matt Luke, Willie Taggart, and
yeah,
and Derek Mason?
Maybe. Would you like to see more uniform scheduling in the sport? 38 said yes, 21 said no, 3 said other. This would be like a 9-game conference schedule. I don't know how, though, you could make scheduling more uniform, because the SEC, just by the nature of the conference, is always going to be more difficult schedule than the ACC, at least right now, for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And that goes to the Pac-12 as well, and Big 12, really. So, I mean, I'm not sure how you would even make it any more uniform.
I'm not either. I don't know.
Yeah. Would 16 games be too many? If you added another game to it, 36 coaches said yes, 11 said no, 15 said maybe.
There's some fence straddlers.
Do you think 16 games is too many for college football? Seems a bit much.
I think it might be.
I mean, if you're going to have a 12-game regular season and a conference championship and, another couple of playoff games.
These conference championships really, I mean, they're losing their.
The only one that matters is the SEC.
That's the only one.
I mean, and it was, I think it served its purpose for a long time, but if we're moving toward the 8-team playoff, then I think they have to go away.
Well, those conferences make a lot. Well, the SEC makes a lot of money on that game.
I'm not sure the Pac-12 is not losing money.
I'm sure they are. But I mean, heck, $36 a ticket.
$38.
I mean, you got to know that they're losing some money. Some other comments coming in. Jeremy said, does Harbaugh try to get back to the NFL before the Citrus Bowl? Is there talk of him hitting
I
the
think
road?
he just don't want to play Alabama and get embarrassed, I guess.
Well, I mean, I know it's coming. How many players does Alabama have that don't
That's
play?
the question. See, I'm not sure.
What's the opening line
I'm
on
not
that
so
game?
sure Alabama
Have you
just
seen
goes in
it?
there and rolls Michigan.
What's the line on that game?
I haven't seen it.
Didn't seen it yet?
Mm-mm.
You didn't really look, did you?
I ain't, no.
Patrick
wasn't
said,
interested in that one.
I agree with Patrick on this. Virginia in the Orange Bowl is a joke. I mean, it is. I mean, nobody cares about that game now. That Florida and the Orange Bowl was worried about that. Now, I mean, there was an article that came out several weeks ago about the concern of the tie with the Orange Bowl in the ACC because they know they ain't getting Clemson, and everybody else is terrible. I mean, they got their doors blown off in the championship game. They give up 63. You know, if you ever give up 63 in your conference championship game, you ought to have a 5-year ban.
Up against the break
Not
here.
eligible.
We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, I'm Kurt Bowman, General Manager of Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga.
And I'm Coco. Do you owe more on your vehicle than it's worth? Are you stuck with high interest rates? We may be able to help.
If you've made your last 12 consecutive payments on time and would like to get a new vehicle for the same or close to the same payment and save thousands of dollars in interest, you may qualify.
So come by and see us and let us show you the Vaden way.
Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga, located on Highway 280 in Sylacauga.
Be the hostess with the mostest this holiday season at Chicken Salad Chick with our easy party catering. Need a quick appetizer? Stop by Chicken Salad Chick and grab a quick chick of any chicken salad flavor or the pimento cheese ball covered with crushed pecans and crispy bacon. Remember, no meal is complete without a sweet treat. For a limited time, our pumpkin cheesecake is back and it's delicious. Chicken Salad Chick can feed any holiday crowd with our custom fit catering. 12 flavors of chicken salad, there's sure to be something for every taste bud.
Since the dawn of time, mankind has needed tools. But not all tools are created equal. AGF Machine Rental Sales and Service has tools for all commercial construction or big residential projects. AGF Machinery offers the most durable and hardworking brands of ASV, Skyjack, and Wacker Neuson. Aerial lifts, scissor lifts, loaders, excavators, and forest equipment on demand for the best possible price. And backed by the Southeast's best team of professionals. Visit any of our strategic locations across Alabama for all your equipment needs. Or online at agfmachinery.com.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs. Or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Expect it or not, the loss of a loved one is difficult. Put your family first by planning ahead. This is Joseph Dean, new owner of Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers. We are a full-service funeral home with an on-site crematory and cemetery. Whether your need is immediate or you would like to plan in advance, our experienced, compassionate staff can assist you in designing an enduring memorial experience, burial, or cremation. Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers on Highway 280 in Camp Hill or online, alabamafuneralhomes.com.
Tires are important, and when getting a great price on tires, you want to get it right. So make the short drive to Wright's Tire in Sylacauga. Wright's Tire can get you any make or model of tire, and they make the drive worth it with volume pricing. Whether North Tallapoosa, South Talladega, or Coosa County, make the right choice, the right selection, the right service, and the right price. All at Wright's Tire on Fort William Street in Sylacauga. Call for a free quote, 256-245-7778, and get the right price on tires.
Harbor Point Ship Store has everything to make your day on the lake more enjoyable. Come on out to the biggest marina on the water. They have pizza, hot dogs, burgers, and more. Get your gas, groceries, snacks, ice, and everything you need for a fun day on the lake. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned boat? Harbor Point has the best selection around of everyone's favorite Crest pontoons and Four Winds boats. Harbor Point also has a great selection of pre-owned boats. Come on out and take a look at Harbor Point, Marina Point Road in Dadeville. Get to the point.
You already know the power and reliability of a Mahindra tractor. Get ready to meet their ATV and UTV lines. Haul more and tow more. Do more. Reaching speeds up to 60 miles an hour. Models have a 12-inch ground clearance and the ability to haul up to 1,200 pounds. There's a Mahindra utility vehicle and a model specifically to get the job done. Test drive today at Lake Martin Tractor and Outdoor. Serving Tallapoosa, Coosa, Clay, and Talladega counties. 256-392-3613.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you for just a couple more segments in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there joining us. Thank you for all the comments rolling through. Getting to those. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jeremy said Harbaugh mentioned as a possible head coach for the Carolina Panthers. He said maybe they should just let McCaffrey do it. He said they want him to do everything else. I wouldn't be shocked if Harbaugh called it quits. It just hadn't worked out for him. He has not even been close at beating Ohio State the last few years. I mean, Wisconsin, for what it's worth, was up 21-7 at half, and I know they got shelled in the second half, but they were in the game. They've been competitive, and there's been other teams beat Ohio State. Michigan ain't even been close, man.
They've struggled.
That's their rival.
They are 0-5 in his time there. Now, I mean, he's had.
There's a lot of people thought that they had a chance to win that game this
year. But he
year.
has put Michigan, I will say this, he has put Michigan consistently as a top 15 team. But they can't beat Ohio State. That's the big one.
But their expectations are higher than that at Michigan. It's almost back to the conversation of what we go through here.
Well, they had slipped in the Rich Rod and Brady Hoke. I mean, Brady Hoke had one good year.
They had made some bad hires.
And so he's at least got to make that.
Texas, Southern Cal, Michigan, Florida State, who?
Nebraska.
They proof positive, man, that you one bad hire away from the thing tanking out. You aren't guaranteed anything anymore, and you're not guaranteed. Tennessee, add Tennessee to the mix. I mean, all the coaches they've been through. Yeah. Those are some pretty prominent programs there, Andy. In the last 15 to 20 years that have just gone into irrelevancy, really.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, Mike Norvell hired at Florida State to try to resurrect that program back to what it once was. He's done a great job at Memphis.
He's got his hands full.
Gus Malzahn disciple. How about the Gus Malzahn tree? Eli Drinkwitz, Mike Norvell. I mean, you could say Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
This guy's only been in coaching for 8 years in NCAA. Yet he's already got a tree out there. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin goes to Ole Miss. What do you think? I mean,
did you see him hugging holding the baby and everything else going on with the fan? And then all of a sudden the guy said, "Hey, get you a burner phone."
Yes.
What in? They don't even know what they got coming. They know what they have coming in as a coach. I mean, when you hand your baby off to the man, and then as he's handing it back to him, you go, get you a burner phone. Get you a burner phone.
David Falele, 6'9", 400-pound offensive tackle at Minnesota.
Is that the biggest tackle in the country?
Sophomore.
Good Lord. What does he eat?
He eats kids for breakfast. I mean, good grief.
Steven said, what do y'all think about Auburn leading the pack for the number one JUCO offensive tackle and defensive back, and do you think Cohen will flip to Alabama?
If we get that tackle, I don't care if Cohen flips, to be perfectly honest with you. Yes, I do believe he will flip.
You can just feel it, can't you?
Yeah. But, I mean, that's like the least one, though.
I don't think anybody really cares.
They
may have called him. They may have picked the phone up and told him. They may have picked the phone up and called him.
That is not Yeldon
ahead.
or Reuben Foster.
No, it's not.
That's not one of
Rashawn
those.
Evans.
No. But, yeah, I think it's – look, I mean, we're going JUCO route. This seems to be the JUCO class. We've got 3 offensive linemen, now maybe 4 JUCO offensive linemen we're bringing in.
This is the position that, that Auburn was put in by the lack of recruiting of offensive linemen the last 2 years.
However, I will say this. That kid, Flax, isn't that the one we're talking about?
I think so.
He's got 3 years. He's going to play 3 years. So, and now he may only play 2 if he's really, really good. But he's eligible to play 3 years, I believe. So, I think he's the one. But or maybe that's the defensive back. One of the 2. So that's not, you bring in a guy that played 3, he's got
Brent
can
said,
play 3 years. That's a pretty big deal.
Brent said, does it really matter who Gus hires as an offensive coordinator?
That's a fair question.
It is a fair question, and one that has been debated for years.
Well, that's why I say, I mean, if the guy's not going to call the plays, then no. I don't think it really does. If it's going to be a Chad Morrison, he says, he's the only guy that I would turn the play calling over to. And then we're going to let him do it.
Well, isn't that the key?
That might make a difference.
That was the key to Ed Orgeron's success this year. He looked at where they fell short last year, and said, "This is what we got to do, and I got to go out and get the guy that I feel like is the best at quarterback development and offensive ingenious, and being able to do some things that are different." And he brings in Joe Brady, and look at what's happened.
Yeah.
I mean, Randy says it every time. He said, that is the same quarterback that at home last year lost 29-0 to Alabama. And now, 12 months later, he lights them up for 40-something points on the road, and he's undefeated right now, and they just blistered Georgia and SEC and about to win the Heisman Trophy. I mean, look at what 12 months can do. If I'm Gus Malzahn, if you're looking at this thing from how do we get better in the areas we're deficient in, that's the number one deficiency that you have right now is, making that quarterback position stronger and making your plays a little bit more, keeping the defense off balance a little bit more instead of being so predictable.
Donald says he believes Pat Nix will be some sort of coach while Bo's on. How about Pat Nix as OC? Would that? I mean,
he ain't gonna let him call no plays.
Well, Pat and Gus call plays.
Well,
Pat, coming from high school, that's something that.
I don't know.
I mean, you could pay a lot more money, and I would say, fine, you call plays. That way, I'm not on the hook. I just take my check, and I'll coach up my son.
That's right.
To be a better quarterback.
Good.
And Jeremy says, if Gus says he's turned over the play calling, do we believe him? And the answer would be no.
Patrick said it was so exciting seeing Georgia get embarrassed Saturday. I have to agree with you.
Up against the break, one final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Monday, right after this.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace, smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control for generations, and now with EnviroCare, you can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs. EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. EnviroCare's Centricon system protects your home year-round. Call the professionals at EnviroCare throughout East Central Alabama for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
Hey Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Mortgage Pro is the new standard for mortgage loans. While other banks are taking 45 to 60 days to close a loan, Mortgage Pro is making it happen in less than 15 days. Your mortgage loan goes from start to finish in less than 15 days. Mortgage Pro is able to make this happen by having the most advanced technology and a highly trained staff with over 98 years combined experience. If you're looking to buy a home or refinance your current mortgage, call Mortgage Pro and let our team go to work for you.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Brett here with you, taking you up to 1 o'clock. We appreciate all of you out there joining us today. Here's your New Year's Six lineup. Of course, you got LSU and Oklahoma in the semifinal on the 28th of December, followed by Ohio State and Clemson. But in your other four bowl games, the Cotton Bowl, you've got Memphis and Penn State. That just doesn't generate a lot, does it?
It just doesn't.
Florida and Virginia, I believe Brett said, quoting, Rose Bowl, Oregon and Wisconsin. That one, to me, is somewhat interesting.
That's going to be a
Two
good
contrasting styles.
I think that's going to be a really good game.
Yeah. And then Georgia and Baylor. You think Georgia is lackluster like they came into the Texas game last year?
I mean, could be.
They might get run out of the state.
I mean,
of course, I don't know. Is this going to be third-string quarterback for Baylor? Good grief.
Well, he came out and all he did
throwing
was
darts.
Fired a daggum, 75-yard touchdown pass right out the gate.
I'm beginning to think Matt Rule may be one of the better coaches in the country.
Else over on the sideline.
He's just a weird guy, it seemed like.
That's what I was thinking, too.
I thought but they said, this is the third conference championship game he and his coaching staff have been in 7 years. Been at different places.
Yeah.
But
they figure out a way to do it.
They know what they're doing.
Is this a lackluster? I mean, that Florida, the Orange Bowl had every right to be concerned about this tie-in with ACC. I mean, they get a non-interesting Virginia team playing a Florida. I mean, if you stick anybody else down there to play Florida, Michigan, even Minnesota, anybody other than, Virginia just is not. And Virginia Tech.
But Utah.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, they're far better.
Wouldn't
than
you
Virginia.
be a lot more excited to see Florida and Utah?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bad deal there. The other SEC bowl games.
Yeah, Oklahoma State and Texas A&M. That's an interesting
It's a lot better matchup than the Florida-Virginia.
I would agree. That's in the Texas Bowl on the 27th. The Music City Bowl on the 30th. You got Mississippi State and Louisville. Louisville having a good year this year. Scott Satterfield, isn't that right? Comes from Appalachian State. Done a good job there. Joe Moorhead just trying to hang on there at Mississippi State.
I saw an early prediction on that game. Mississippi State winning by like 10 or 12 points.
Really?
Yep.
Belk Bowl on the New Year's Eve. Virginia Tech and Kentucky.
Kentucky in that one.
Joey Gatewood. Not going to play.
Not going to play. Or maybe not.
Virginia Tech and Kentucky. Virginia Tech was resurgent later in the year. Kentucky, made the best of it with Lynn Bowden at quarterback. Who's better than Kentucky? They played well down the stretch.
They have.
Citrus Bowl, Michigan, number 14 versus Alabama, number 13. Auburn, Alabama playing the same time. I don't really care, but a lot of people around the country probably would.
Yeah, that's two great games at one time.
Yeah. What do you think about Michigan and Alabama just early?
Depends on, I don't think it'll, Alabama, when they play in these games, seem to be disinterested, and you can go back and look at the Oklahoma and the Utah games and stuff like that. But, I think it's going to be a lot more determined on who they have that sits out. If they've got a bunch that decide not to play in the game, it could hurt Alabama. But, of course, I like Alabama to win the game. I do.
I wonder, if this will be a situation like Alabama and Michigan State several years, was it 2010, when they were mad, that they got beat at the end of the year.
You're talking about
Auburn.
hurting somebody. They were rolling Michigan State players off like a mash unit.
That was ugly.
It was
ugly. And you got the Gator Bowl on the 2nd, Indiana and Tennessee. It's a very winnable game for Tennessee.
It is.
This is a losable game for Tennessee.
It is.
They better
How about
not,
Tennessee just back in a bowl game?
They got to be celebrated.
That's a win in itself.
And they get to leave the state. So, no Music City, no.
Yeah, they don't have to just go next door.
So I think that's good. I think they got to be ecstatic. But you got the Outback Bowl on the 1st, Auburn and Minnesota. Early feeling about this game.
Saw a prediction on that. I saw a prediction on this game, 31-20 Auburn.
31-20.
31-20.
Okay.
I think your buddy Jerry Palm picked that one.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He picked Auburn?
31-20.
Wow.
Is that a jinx?
I don't know.
So
maybe trying to reverse curses or something.
Yeah, I guess so.
Some final comments coming through. Pat Nix wouldn't just take a check. He'll want to win. And yes, O-line is a problem. Band-Aids from JUCO won't do it long term. Get an O-line coach that can recruit. One thing is for sure, we need to get an OC like Rodney Garner that just loves coaching at Auburn so we can have a long stretch of success.
And I think he's referring to somebody with the passion and longevity as Rodney Garner's provided since he's –
and somebody that just wants to be at Auburn and would be there. 45-27, early prediction. That's a high-scoring affair. But, hey, bowl games, you never know. If Eddie Gran were to get the Florida Atlantic job, do you think Gatewood may backpedal on Kentucky?
I don't know.
Think he is going to Kentucky because of Gran. Interesting.
Who was it that put in the comments last week that they think that Joey Gatewood would be a 2 to 3 time portal boy?
Yeah.
I mean, he may pop up somewhere else. I think it was probably more because they didn't think he's going to win the job when he gets to Kentucky.
I think certainly he would have to reevaluate if he's, and good for Eddie Gran if he finally gets a big-time coaching job. Well, I don't know if that's a big time, but
I don't know.
It's a good – like I say, there's worse places to be than Boca Raton.
You got that right.
So, and, hey, Lane Kiffin, for all his faults, he went to Florida Atlantic and he won 2 conference championships in 2 years.
He's
got that program now at the top of the what are they, AAC?
Yeah.
So you're going into a
American
good situation.
Athletic Conference.
You're going into a good situation.
They are going in. I mean, yeah. And we all had a feeling that he'd end up batting SEC, and lo and behold, here he is.
Yeah. Lane Kiffin.
Right back. I mean,
He
next
bears
year's going to be
watching.
the Alabama game is going to be right out of the
Well, SEC Media Days.
right back.
Can you
Here
imagine?
we go.
It'll be fun already. That's going to wrap it up for us on this Monday. Back with you tomorrow, same time, same channel. For Brett Pritchard, I'm Andy Grimm. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again.